Action Comics issue 971. So this issue starts off with Lois and John making their way to Lois Lane's place, and it seems like Lois Lane wants to do some research on the Genetronics lab. John notices the resemblance between the two in pictures and even notices her father, but Lois doesn't really want to talk about it at the moment, and we move on. So now this is the good stuff. Superman is holding Luthor by the neck and tells him that he's a killer and he's guilty. Luthor is talking to himself, saying that he's pinned down by the Godslayers, Superman Lacal, calling him a murderer, Zaid's weakening him, Charb, who's probably the leader, and the survivors who want to kill him. So Lacal offers Superman his sword to execute Luthor, and Luthor sees the difference between his Superman and this current Superman. And Superman at the moment accepts the blade. So then Superman explains to him that he cannot take that vision as proof, and Luthor might have done this in the future, but there's no reason for him to believe that he might do this as of right now and in the future, because there's no actual real evidence other than that vision. So Superman, throws Luthor away from the Godslayer so that Zaid's effect wears off of him, because he's kind of messing with his mind. Superman turns his attention to Zaid and blasts him away with his heat vision. Lacal then attacks Clark, but then is also knocked away, and Superman makes it clear that he doesn't stand for this type of killing. He stands for protecting life, and he grabs a mother box and tells Luthor to open the portal back to Earth. Char tells Superman that he's being used by the mass murderer, but Superman doesn't want to hear any of it. He grabs Luthor and enters the boom tube, and Lacal shoots a beam into the boom tube. So this results in the boom tube collapsing, and the two end up on a planet with the red sun. So Luthor tries to open another boom tube, but he can't due to all the interference, and Clark is being drained away. Luthor loses his cool on Superman, and Clark tells him to get his hands off of him or else. Luthor pretty much says you're powerless, and Clark throws a solid punch. Clark tells Luthor that they need to prepare for the Godslayers when Luthor accuses them of trespassing, going through all his files that day. He then explains to him that somebody entered his work environment and pretty much went through all his files to get dirt on him, but was unsuccessful. And we also see a flashback of that. So Clark tells him that he knows he's up to no good, and that Superman's symbol is just a scam. Luthor retaliates with accusing him of being no good than Lacal, and he should join the Godslayers. Superman tells Luthor to convince him right now, and Luthor tells him that Superman changed him and pushed him over to the good side of the line. The symbol he wears is a tribute to that Superman who learned to accept Luthor in his world, and he wanted to spread his inspiration to others by wearing his symbol as a tribute to him. Clark finds a cave and wants them both to head there, but because they took forever arguing, the Godslayers end up blasting them. Zaid goes right for Superman, but Luthor ends up saving him. Now, this pretty much ends with Superman being held there by Luthor. So Luthor is still holding on to this character, but anyways, back to Metropolis. John ends up telling Lois that lab she's looking for, they found it in the Amazon, and Clark also knows about it when the doorbell rings, and that's probably their lunch. John runs over to pay the guy for it, and when he gets there, it's New 52 Clark, and the issue ends there. So another amazing issue. Action Comics, dude, for the win. Like, they're killing it every single week. Even like their slow parts are amazing. Anyways, so let's start up with Lois and John. So they're continuing looking for all this information on the Genetronics lab, and guess what? New 52 Clark shows up, and pretty much that's all I have to say about their part. Now the good part, the Godslayers. And I knew Superman wasn't going to kill him, because there's no question about it. He'll never do it. He isn't a killer, and that's how his character's always been. And now, right before the action started, like, he throws Luthor away, gets rid of Zaid, like, how quickly he planned that out, and then knocks away Lacal, gives him the boom tube, and they're out of there in an instant, but obviously their plans get foiled because of Lacal. And now it's worse, because now they're on a planet with the red sun, and Superman's getting drained pretty quick because his body can't absorb any yellow radiation from a yellow sun. So Superman and Luthor also get their one-to-one moment. We pretty much see their relationship and how it's developing, and Luthor's bullshit about him wearing the S. He's playing everyone. That's just me. But for a fact, I know he is playing everyone. And they argue, and just have the Godslayers again get to them because they were too slow to make their move, and they go right for Superman, and guess what? Luthor saves Superman at the end. So it couldn't have gone, I should say, any better. But you know what? Again, Luthor's still playing a game. So overall, 9 out of 10. We get good progress. It kept moving forward. It was good pace, amazing art, and the character development. We got to see Luthor and Clark and Lois and John story on the side, which I feel like could have been a little bit better because they weren't moving too forward. Like, all that really happened was, hey, we need to go find more about this lab. Hey, so my son knows something about this. Oh, and you do Clark shows up. So that didn't really move forward too much. It was kind of slow, but yeah, I get it, the focus was mainly on that. But if they had expanded that a little bit more, it would have been better, because they did have a lot of content in this issue. They could have expanded a bit more, but you know what, 9 out of 10 is still pretty good. Or for the sake of saying it, 10 out of 10, sure, why not? Because I guess that is more of a story to the side, because the main focus was on Luthor and Superman, which it kept, like, I think 90% of the issue was on it. So anyways, my question to all of you is, Superman is fading in power because of the red sun. Anyone have an idea how the hell they're supposed to fight these two Godslayers who had no problem taking them out earlier when they first met? Leave that in the comments below. And also, do you think Luthor is still bullshitting? Because I think he still is. There's no other way around it, because that's who Luthor is. So if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to leave me a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you already haven't done so. And I'll see you guys all next time. Peace.